Welcome to London, England, where SLS returns for the second time. A hub of European culture and center for skateboarders from around the world. And today the site of the 2019 SLS World Tour and the start of Olympic qualifications. And we are inside Copper Box Arena, where 8 of the world's best skateboarders are on the course warming up for the final of the kickoff, the first stop of the 2019 SLS World Tour. Thanks for tuning in. Paul Zitzer alongside Chris Cole. And tonight is the official kickoff, the first Olympic qualifying event for 2020 in Japan. Chris, what does this moment mean for skateboarding?
I think this is huge for skateboarding. The fact that the Olympics brings skateboarding to millions of homes of people that, you know, otherwise don't skateboard. It really legitimizes skateboarders as legitimate athletes and not just skaters.
And well deserved. Now let's take a look at what it's going to take for skaters to qualify into the Olympic Games. 20 men and 20 women per discipline. The Olympic field requirements are as such: minimum of 1 skater per Olympic continental region. You see the 5 regions listed there. Minimum of 1 skater per host country, which is Japan, and a maximum of 3 skaters per country. The qualification period begins right here tonight in London and ends May 30th, 2020. How do skaters earn points? Well, top 2 placements from 2019 and then the top 4 from next year. Now, tonight, it's all about the final. We have the 8 best skaters in the world on the course. Who do you think is in contention to win here tonight?
I mean, I would be bummed out to not talk about Shane O'Neill. Shane is absolutely killing it. It's the old Shane O'Neill. You know, it just really, he has the chops, we knew it, but he didn't have the headspace, and right now he's really playing that chess game perfectly.
And then Nyjah Huston, obviously, we have to talk about him, 2018 world champ.
I mean, he's out there savagely attacking this course as though he sees it like it's a micro machine. He's just jumping on everything so easy.
All right, so those are just 2 of the skaters in the final. Here is the 8-skater final, starting with, look at the depth of field of international flavor here. Japan, Sora Shirai coming into his first SLS final.
He's killing it.
Yeah. And then there's Canada, Berger, America, Louie Lopez, Portugal, Gustavo, Ribeiro, and on. Manny, Santiago, Shane O'Neill, and then your top 2, Kelvin and Nyjah Huston. It's going to be amazing. And it is the quiet before the storm. Finals about to begin. The crowd is packed in. They've already seen an insane day of skateboarding in the semifinals leading up to this and the women's finals earlier today. It's been absolutely incredible. So we're about to kick off finals, but first let's send it down to Andrew Cannon, who's with Manny Santiago.
Manny, you've been skating really well qualifying in here. You are in the finals. What is it going to take to get a victory here today?
I mean, at any finals of Street League, you have to put it all on the line because you know that people are going to try their hardest tricks. And when you got people like Kelvin, you got people like Nyjah, and you got Shane in the finals, it's nonstop 9s. So you got to just do everything you can.
You've been in the finals before. Have you figured this out? Do you know what you're going to do exactly, or what's your strategy?
I mean, yeah, we all do. Everybody comes with a plan, but it's just how you're going to execute it. Right now, yeah, I'm skating really well, and I'm really happy. In my mind, I've already imagined winning this like 20 times in the last like hour. So I'm just going to do my best to have a good time, and if I win, I win. But honestly, I'm so happy, and that means more to me than trying to like fight to win. Like I'm just hyped. I can't explain it.
Best of luck to you, Manny. Back to you guys.
Whoa, careful on the equipment, Manny. Best attitude in skateboarding,
Absolutely.
Manny Santiago. Let's talk about how this contest works with the basics. Each skater gets 2 45-second runs, followed by 5 best trick attempts anywhere on the course. The top 4 scores overall count. Those are the basics. All right, for more on what this course has to offer, this is the course preview. This SLS World Tour London course is a mirror image of perfection and ideal for tech skaters with quick feet. Varying size ledges and rails are where the majority of the tricks will go down, and skaters known for locking into long grinds will have the advantage. From there, linking together tricks will be the key. The center section consists of wedges and A-frames that offer varying size gaps to hubbas and flat bars that skaters can hit from just about any direction. And then, the raised stage section provides an ideal starting zone with extended, mellow double kink rails and a long 7-stair with Euro gap options and 2 perfect square rails on each side. After days of qualifiers, you can already see they're waxed up, ready to be ripped. So the course has something for everybody, and now it is time to meet the 8 finalists.
Yep.
Here we go. First skater in from Japan. He's a 2-time Dam-Am Japan winner, 2017 and 18. He's an amateur. They're untested on the national circuit, Sora Shirai, but he is a beast.
Yes, he absolutely is. He's been killing it so far, too.
He really has. I mean, to be here in the final says it all. That's winning. All right, coming out of Canada, Matt Berger, great return to the finals. He's been hurt for 3 years on and off.
Yeah, it's great to see him back in there. He's been doing really, really good, and he's one of those guys that just has so many tricks that it's actually hard for him to pick from it. But man, you want more. You can always play down.
Good problem to have, right?
Yep.
And from Portugal, a Tampa Am 2017 winner, and he's been battling to make it into SLS ever since, and here he is in the final. He's been putting down the serious, most heavy moves, Gustavo Ribeiro. And from America, Ben Reimers forever. Great tribute.
Yep.
Louie Lopez, he was a 2017 pick. Back to Gustavo Ribeiro. Sorry, we got ahead of ourselves with Louie there. All right,
I'm
Louie.
so excited.
Louie Lopez, 2017 pick, went to the World Championship that year. Hasn't been back in the final since. It's great to see him shredding here in
That's
London.
surprising. I mean, it's not that surprising. It is very hard to get into the finals, even when you're as good as Louie Lopez. But wow, did he just crush it in the semis.
Yeah, he did everything. Completely unexpected. You don't know what you're going to get. And then the best attitude in skateboarding, Manny Santiago. He's been on a tear.
What a gem. Seriously, I'm so happy he's back, and wow, is he doing it. You feel like you're part of it. When you're watching Manny live, you're part of his performance.
Best ever finish in SLS. 3rd place goes way back to 2013. Woo! He's still a contender. And then Shane O'Neill. I mean, it's all or nothing with Shane, and so far this weekend, it's been everything.
Absolutely, he's like a doctor of skating. Surgical with his precision. And he is out there just crushing it. His mind is in the right spot. We were talking strategy earlier, and he's got it.
Now, 2015 world champ, Kelvin Hoefler. Ever since that 2015 moment, he was injured, and then it's been seconds and thirds at almost every single event. He's hungry for another SLS win. Kelvin Hoefler.
Oh.
And, I mean, here's the question, Chris. Nyjah Huston, if he makes his tricks, can he be beat?
I mean, I think yes, on any given day, all these people could win this contest. Nyjah is just continuously showing us that he has more tricks. Hey, surprise, I can do everything.
Well, he's the world champion 2010, 12, 14, 17, and 18.
Is that it?
So, that's it.
The world champion.
Monster making the cut, skater of the weekend, goes out to Sora Shirai. Putting on the helmet proves he's under the age of 18. Helmet required.
Yep.
New rules.
When you're over 18, your brains are your business.
So Sora just squeezed into these finals, and he's the first one in.
Oh!
First trick of the final, a blizzard flip.
It wasn't even, dude, it wasn't even a blizzard flip. It was a what do you even call that?
All the way around and flipping.
540 big flip?
Yeah. So it's unfortunate that he failed the next trick, the big spin front tail, and then goes down on this, but you see he's coming out with a vengeance.
I mean, way to come out swinging. I mean, that puts a proper couple points on the board just for that one trick. But as we know, you really do have to crank out a bunch of good tricks because you're going to need 8s and 9s to win this contest.
Guns blazing. He came out firing.
Yep, you see that helmet work right there?
Helmet worked. Look at
it.
Varial flip, backstep 360 ollie.
That's
you
just,
name it.
I mean, that's just so much. Front 180 switch crook. I mean, looks so simple in comparison to that first move.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I'm assuming his score is going to be low just to keep this contest in check at first.
Absolutely, and I mean, we're talking 2 tricks.
700
run,
bails.
You know?
3.1.
700 bails. If he just does that one trick in the finals, though, in the
best trick,
that's a good score.
Matt Berger, he's, like we said, he's just been looking like the old Matt Berger that got into SLS a few years ago and just makes tricks.
That's right. Look how dialed he is. He's a bigger guy, too, you know, 6 foot, 6'1", and just really has all that power.
And he uses it.
Yeah, skates like a James Hardy type of character. Look at that kickflip back tail. He's got such technical precision, especially with the kickflip backside tricks.
And even though he's the bigger guy, he's light on his feet when he needs to be.
He really is. He understands it. I bet he's great at bowling and all things physics.
And dancing. 270 lip. And that's time. That ball does not count against him. Matt Berger, a solid first run.
He's a big, strong guy, though. I'm sure that fall counted against the course. Kickflip back tail right here. Over-rotated out, but that's no problem.
That's the kickflip back tail has been his go-to this weekend. It's there when he needs it every time, and he can do tricks out of the kickflip back tail. So 8.4.
That's
huge.
A great score. Wow, that is a great setup. He's stoked. See, I'll high five everybody too. 8.4 high fives.
Louie Lopez.
Louie has the ability to string tricks together in a speedy, flawless way. Not much time to set up for the next one. Always ready. He gets in probably double the amount of tricks as everybody else, and keeps his speed. And just like that.
Totally unpredictable. What's he gonna do next? You don't know.
Absolutely. But I mean, he just got in a full run worth of tricks.
And he doesn't. He's not a pop out, run across the deck, drop in guy.
No, he's not. He's a keep your speed, do more tricks kind of guy.
And he stays in bounds.
He does.
Grinding the edge of the course.
The floor is lava. I mean, that was a great run, even without those two.
I mean, yeah, he kind of ran out of juice right there at the end. The last trick was a gimme for him, but it just didn't get into it.
What's funny, though, is this is a really good run. It's going to score well, but you need 8s and 9s.
It's going to be a good score, 7.6 solid. I mean,
that's cool.
It's a good start.
It makes you feel good.
All right. Let me give you a breakdown of the pylon on the left of your screen and how it works. Below the skater's name are the run section and best trick tabs. The top 4 scores will be shown in white, and the drop scores will be shown in gray. Below that is the leaderboard. Current skater's name is highlighted in white, and after each attempt, their name will be in gray until they skate again. The leaderboard will update after every single score, and then finally on the bottom tab, you'll see what score the skater needs for the lead, and if they can't take the lead, you'll see the highest placing they can get with a score. That's the pylon. Gustavo Ribeiro, Portugal, a trick machine. That's what Gustavo Ribeiro is. Oh, that was, hit a rock, got pitched.
You know, that unfortunately that does happen. I mean, with a brand new course, there's concrete that gets chipped away when it's brand new. The cracks, you know, they're not worn in yet. Everything's not worn in, so.
He hip checked the top of that wedge. Seems to be okay. Good recovery.
Yeah, that was unnecessary roughness for hitting a rock in a skate park.
And it shouldn't count against him necessarily, but it cost him a time and tricks. Huge finish.
But I mean,
I think in some ways that's got to count in his favor. To see that happen and then come back and put that run down?
I mean, that was pretty sick.
Come on.
Way to roll through.
After sticking.
Yep. Now the other pros are, you know, checking it out, making sure everything's solid out there on the course.
Yeah, that was a wild one. 7.9.
Yeah, so he's hyped.
It could have been higher, but it's okay. We're going to be coming back with more of the first runs here in the final after this. Welcome back, Copper Box Arena, London, England. The 2019 SLS World Tour. This is the final here this weekend, and it has been a wild ride to get here. Taking a look back at 2018 World Championship in Rio. Mark Suciu blowing minds there, surprising us all year. 2018.
Absolutely. And Yuto, I mean, we can't be bigger fans.
No, he didn't have a great showing there, and he didn't make the final here, but he'll be back.
And then Chris Jocelyn, best gap skater ever, and then
Not a
Aurelian
bad
right on his heel.
Best French gap skater,
Man.
Aurelian. Ivan Montero from Brazil had an incredible final, just dropping all of his greatest hits, and then to the face.
Also dropping his body on the ground.
He lived. Felipe Gustavo had the final of a lifetime.
That was incredible to watch. He was so hyped. That kickflip crook, I mean, we talk about that pretty steady.
Third place for Felipe, and then it came down to, as it does, Kelvin versus Nyjah. They were battling for the lead all day long, just trading tricks on that flat bar of doom.
That was insane that they were both just rifling off tricks. It was a real Rocky versus Drago moment.
And no one was even practicing on that thing because it was so scary.
That's what was really impressive. None of that stuff got seen before it went down.
But Nyjah was just not to be stopped. But whoa, hey, Kelvin still had more to give. But nope, Nyjah 360 flip, lip, first try. He said he hadn't done that trick in over a year.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, a flag was on the field for unnecessary roughness right there. That was a psycho move.
So Kelvin's last try to take the lead back. Nope. And there it was. Nyjah Huston, 2018 world champion again.
Again.
Again and again.
He's just so stoked. Like, look, one more. Really balances it out.
That one really did feel like his biggest win ever because it was so hard fought.
It was definitely neck, like at each other's necks.
There's a look at our judges. Apparently there's some sort of protest happening. Let's see what happened. Okay, Gustavo Ribeiro, we saw it. Screech, pitch, slam. So,
what did he actually hit?
Hit a rock, there it is.
There's the
so,
rock.
To be honest, I don't know the rules about a rock on the course and what it means. Is that interference or is that just skateboarding?
No, I think that's just skateboarding. I think that, I mean, personally, I don't.
Danny Wainwright says peace.
Yeah, I think that's just skateboarding. You know, P-Rod always does the P-Rod sweep at the top of the stairs because he's prepared for that.
Maybe we need a Gustavo sweep. Okay, so we just heard from the judges. He's granted a rerun if he wants it.
Ooh,
that puts the pressure on him now.
Wow, that's gambling.
If you want to say no and keep the rest of your run, you can do that, but you are entitled. I just want everyone here to know if you choose yes, and there's no pressure. If you want to run, you can. I just wanted these guys to know because they're, you know, they're competitors.
Yeah, what happens if he fucks it up though? Do you still get 7-9?
No,
That's a good question.
So
That's the gamble.
you either keep it or you go fuck it. I didn't fall and I'm gonna risk it to get a bigger score. It's up to you.
That is a risk. And we apologize for any language used in the heat of this intense moment on the course.
Like Nyjah talked about in the song Heat of the Moment.
Kind of like that. So, Chris, question, what would you do?
Knowing that 7.9 will not be one of the top scores, I would take the run again. Just, why not? I mean, you want 8s, you want 9s. That's how this is going to win. You see what Kelvin does and what Nyjah does and what Shane does. You know what they're capable of. I would take that run again.
That is a great point. I was going to say, just let it ride, save it for the next one, but it's so true. A 7.9 might as well be a 0 in the final of any SLS event with these other skaters out there. I'm exaggerating,
which is so mind-blowing, but it is. I mean, it is.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because that run he was on his way to, could have, like, the whole run could have been a 9 run.
That's right.
Without that. So he's listened. He's going to give it another go. Gustavo Ribeiro from Portugal back in for run number 1.
You know, he was probably nervous rolling through that section. I was worried that his tray flip wouldn't go off because he would be thinking, like, am I going to hit something? Until he was halfway up the bank, and then he'd be like, okay, I didn't hit it.
In some ways, he may have worked through a bunch of nerves, too, because he's like, I just did this. I can do it again.
Well, also, right after you slam, you're the most warmed up.
True.
Wow. And you know what? He is coming correct right now.
360 flip, lip slide to push.
To push. That's what he was trying, right?
Okay. Now, do the judges, the crowd is loving it. I mean, that was great. That was awesome.
That was a great moment.
Does that score higher than a 7.9? And if so?
I mean, that's tricky because that tray flip whip was an integral trick. What if they give him another 7.9?
It might be an easy out for the judges. Just call it a wash and move on.
I mean,
7.1. The gamble pays off. Once again, I'm gonna step up and apologize for any inappropriate words and anyone who may have been offended at what they heard here today. Manny Santiago, our favorite skater, back in on the course for run number 1.
Look at him, 2 tricks in. He's high-fiving people. Wow, what a champion. Oh. Yo, I mean, that's how that trick should go for basically everybody. That's a hard one. He's kind of like one and only that does that.
And he's probably like 8 out of 10 on that trick.
Yeah, which is a better percentage for that trick than anybody else. Whoa, that was in a run.
And there's that signature squat, grab, smile, ender from Manny.
Yeah, if he ever has a silhouette logo, that's it. That's him. Squat, grab, wave to the audience.
I love it. Taking another look.
Look at that. Yeah, he's like, this is cool.
Do you call that varial heel back board or big heel board?
I do, I don't know, actually.
Somewhere in between.
I mean, I'll call it whatever you want, really. Just not wait for dinner.
7.7 puts Manny on the podium in the first runs so far after 6. 5 scares. All right, Shane O'Neill is in. Get ready.
Yeah. Nice heel break.
Casual.
You sometimes forget how hard the tricks are that Shane does, just because he does them so well. I mean, that switch big spin right there.
But
That's
the
hard.
combo from landing the rail from a big spin front board and then to set up for that, just like that.
Absolutely. It was a very well orchestrated. Oh, you know, he was talking about upping his line from the semifinals, switch foot back lip to a switch foot back tail. We talked about it, and he's like, I mean, they're essentially, to me, they're about the same. They're not any harder than.
That is mind-boggling.
Right. Nollie front board, just smooth as can be.
This is the combo. Just quick, set up the feet and snap the switch frontside big spin.
It looks cool because he spins his board one way, he lands with his board backwards, and then he does a switch trick, spins his board, lands right.
Fixes it.
Yep. 7.1 on that run.
7.1. Kelvin Hoefler, 2015 world champ, has not won since, has been so close so many times.
Well, we've had the emergence of Yuto and then Nyjah.
The continued dominance of
dominance.
Nyjah, yes sir. But Kelvin is unstoppable. He just goes and puts down, runs, then tricks. You gotta beat him, he's not gonna give it to you.
That's right.
Wow.
That kickflip front nose is really impressive. It's one of my favorite tricks of the contest, actually.
It's a choice cut. Something for every obstacle.
Yeah. And keeping that speed, putting together a good line. This is after time, but why not land it? It's much easier just to land on the board than it is to bail, right?
And I tell you what, when the judges are putting in scores and the crowd is still yelling, hey, I mean, they're not robots.
That's right. It factors in. You can't help yourself. Also, you know, a couple of these tricks that he was putting together, in between, he landed off the flat bar and his trucks were like wiggling on the way to this kickflip back tail. Trucks were wiggling, he was almost squirreling out, but he didn't. He held on to it, kickflip back tail.
He has a crazy ability to recover. 9 club!
Wow.
Kelvin Hoefler, he just snuck that in there. Like that run is that's just classic Kelvin. So his typical run is a 9.1 now. That's where we're at in this world.
That's right, and he puts that pressure on Nyjah, which we love watching Nyjah under.
And to be honest, this is when Nyjah's at his best. Turn the screws on Nyjah. He's gonna get mad and he's gonna answer.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's upping the tricks from his semifinal. Wow.
It looks
so
like
dialed.
he's having a good time just ripping the course.
That's right.
He hasn't been out there stressing at all.
Wouldn't you? If you had all these tricks and you could just throw a back 180 nose grind down the handrail just for fun in the middle of run.
But this pressure.
I don't know if he lives without pressure. I think he's just, pressure makes diamonds. He knows it. Oh, wow.
Finish!
That classic Nyjah under pressure, just ripping.
He was almost like dancing in his run on his board. Okay.
I mean, the hype is real.
So, Kelvin, 9.1, incredible run. What does Nyjah's run get? How does it compare?
9.2, 9.3. That was I mean, that run, I don't know if you can get much better. Look at that, he even ollied out of that. His half cab flips are beautiful. A lot of pros, believe it or not, cannot half cab flip very well.
Look at that. Front side Suchu. 9 club, Nyjah Huston. What's the score? 9.3. You called it, Chris.
That was excellent. Wow.
Nyjah.
That was beautiful. This dude's got so many 9 clubs. So many.
He's in the 50 zone.
Really?
Yeah.
Nines club.
He's hundreds and hundreds of points. Run number 2 of the finals coming up when we return. This is the best ticket in skateboarding, the 2019 SLS World Tour London men's final going down right now. And earlier today, we saw a mind-blowing women's final. Aori Nishimura, and the winner, congratulations to Brazil's Pamela Rosa. There's a look at the women's final results. What an event. Congrats to Australia's Hayley Wilson as well. Number 2, and Brazil's Julia Raisa Leal rounding out the podium. Leticia Buffoni surprisingly just missing that top 3 spot. Tough fought battle all the way around. Now it's all about men's final. Next skater, back to the top of the order. Second runs of 2. Sora Shirai from Japan, he came out swinging on his first run, but it didn't last. Let's see how he goes this time.
Out of bounds.
That's a strange trick to have as a first trick of your run.
Yeah.
This time he makes the big spin front tail.
But skipped over the front feeble. And he just falls into that back Smith.
Big frontside 3 up the Euro.
Good front 3.
5 seconds left. Signature front 180 switch crook. Make a try.
There we go. So he got some tricks that he didn't get the first time.
If he could combine the first and second runs, he's in there. But look at this.
It's very delicate.
High speed, just skimming it.
Yeah. And he actually does that front 180 crook kind of crazy. He's off the rail really far with his body, but he wrangled it.
Finishing at the buzzer with the fakie tray. He's going to go to best trick for Sora. Score is in 6.7. That's a decent score, but as we've said, it's almost irrelevant, if not totally irrelevant. Matt Berger on deck, coming off an 8.4 run, which seemed amazing at the time, still is, but then other things happened.
That's the thing. I mean, he won that run himself. Doesn't matter what other people did. At the end of the day, he's going to feel really good that he did that. Actually went kind of fast for that kickflip back tail. That rail is pretty low in comparison to how tall he is.
Time for one or two more. Here we go. 270 lip slide and the backside big to Primo. That's time for Matt Berger.
All right, so he's not going to get the score that he got on the first run. Not even close, but still has those 5 attempts anywhere. And he's got a lot of tricks to give.
He really does. He's going to need them, though. He's going to need his best. But that's okay. 8 skaters in the final out of 30 that came through semis. Before that, there were quarterfinals. Before that, there was a Global Open this week. There were so many skaters all trying to get here, trying to start stacking points towards 2020 Olympics. Louie Lopez, first run was a 7.6. Nice.
Wow, that was really cool. That quarter pipe is kind of slick on the top. Surprising that he picks that trick.
Wow.
Beautiful fakie frontside flip.
And the flow, once again. He got loose.
I mean, that was a kick flip and then ripped a 180 out of it.
So many tricks already in this run. 15 seconds left.
Oh. You could watch the entire audience do the same motion where they just, head goes back.
Because what Louie did to get to the final was magical, right? The semis, it was just everything. Whatever he wanted to do, he did.
Absolutely. Look at how narrow that quarter pipe is. He almost frontside flips off of it, pulls it back in to a disaster.
And then straight into that.
Yeah, like his feet are just, he sets up quicker than most people.
7.6.
Look at that.
Good run score. He's up in first place for now until everybody else starts putting 2 or 3 scores on the board. Gustavo Ribeiro down in 6th place. Score of 8.1 on his first run. Let's see what he does this time. Does he go for the same run and just try to nail the landing, or does he change anything?
I mean, that's tricky because he hasn't gotten to land the full run, so he hasn't gotten the points of having the tray flip lip in there as well as everything else. So that's tricky. I would wait personally till the end of my run, and then if I landed everything else, I might tray flip nose blunt. Because he's so good at that, why not? Keep going.
Make-ish. Right at the buzzer. Tray flip lit just in time.
It was almost as though he didn't know whether to nose blunt or lip. I think he caught a little bit of a truck smash in there.
I agree. It seems impossible to be somewhere in between. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look at this. Yep. He hit like a low-C grind for a second.
Wow. So that run was nearly flawless besides running off the course, which
doesn't count against you.
8.8. Low tones coming from the crowd. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with Nyjah Huston and Shane O'Neill when we return. Welcome back to London, England. There's a shot of Nyjah Huston sitting on a first run score of 9.3, highest run score of the weekend. We caught up with Nyjah for his take on skateboarding in the Olympics.
This being the first Olympic qualifier, and I mean one of the only ones out of the year, I'm sure it changes the contest for a lot of people, especially the new dudes from other countries. They want to make it in there and represent their country, which is tight. It's cool seeing new dudes out there and stuff. I'm sure you guys know I'm never here not to do my best to win. And obviously the first step is just making it to the finals, which is never easy. All the dudes are out there killing it. But after that, I'm going to be out there sending it no matter what.
Chris, what do you think?
I think he's going to do excellent.
I think he's been sending it.
I think he's just on the top of his game. What's impressive about him too is he grew up in this game. He was a little kid and he grew and got bigger, and so his balance got different. He got buffed too, and that usually throws off your balance, man. He did not throw him off at all.
On deck, Manny Santiago. First run score of 7.7, coming in for run number 2. No matter what you get trick-wise from Manny, you're going to get more stoked than anyone. Nice start. There we go. Front shove, back 50.
You and I, Paul, have talked about it, but Manny has Manny's tricks. They're very bizarre. Such as that. It's not your typical 3-shove it. It's not an impossible, but the board does an impossible with no foot attached to it.
It's like pivoting around something. Varial heel back board.
How is that unlocked?
Manny's moves. It's all Manny all day.
Oh, nice. That is a highlight. That's what makes Manny a Manny of the people.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That fling. It's not flick, it's fling.
I mean, it's real fast.
7.9.
Nice.
So he backs up his first run score and improves on it. Manny is in second place for now. He has 2 scores on the board though. Shane does not. This is his second run.
There are 2 people that I see who defy gravity. One, Shane O'Neill, the other Ishod Ware. I feel like he just floats around and just decides when he wants to come back down.
I agree. Shane just rattling off the tricks kind of to get to the big moves.
Whoa.
You know, like he's just going through what he needs, the reps. Here we go.
And there it is.
There you go.
Switch flip, backside tail slide, a handrail in a contest in the run.
Okay. Nyjah scored a 9.3 in his run. How does this run measure up?
It's not Nyjah's run, but he switched up his tricks, did a switch shove a heel right there on the fly. And then look how good that was. Oh, that was perfect.
9 club. 9.3.
Obviously I'm wrong.
No, I think the point is his run wasn't quite full Nyjah level, but then it got there with the hardest trick of the run section.
Trick content is what gets judged.
Yeah, he raised it up at the last few seconds. Kelvin Hoefler sitting on a 9.1, and you can expect that and more. No one seems to be more consistent in putting down run after run than Kelvin Hoefler.
That, unfortunately, is how kickflip front noses go, most times. That's why you don't see that trick in contests that often.
You can feel it in the arena right now. The expectation now is through the roof. So a fall, even on like the hardest trick ever, it's like,
it's a bummer because we're essentially watching an action movie. Look at that full cab back lip. Perfect. He barely bent his knees when he landed.
He's just waiting, like thinking about the next trick. 5.9.
Hey, you know what? Having a 9 under your belt going into your 5 best tricks, not a bad place to be.
All right, let's see. Nyjah Huston back in, run number 2.
Definitely front feeble or backsmith, whichever that was, for longer that time. Before back 180ing out.
It's like a replay, perfect replay. And then you just got to think, what does Nyjah have in store?
In every single stop, he's like, surprised, I also know how to do this trick.
Was that the same run?
That was the same run.
So in this case,
he missed the full cap or the big spin flip, so it'll probably get like a point off, you know, and it's a 9 still.
Would there be even more of a deduction though for just the repeat? You know, is that where
traditionally that hasn't happened. Just waiting on the judges.
Club 9.1.
Yep.
Nyjah Huston back in the lead. Surprise, surprise. Defending world champion Nyjah Huston, best trick coming up. Welcome back inside Copper Box Arena for the 2019 SLS World Tour London men's final, and it's been incredible so far after 2 runs. Surprise, surprise, Nyjah Huston up on top with an 18.4, followed by Gustavo Ribeiro after a rough start. Shane O'Neill rounding out the top 3. We're gonna send it down to Andrew Cannon, who's course side.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I talked to Gustavo Ribeiro about exactly what happened. He said he hit that rock, and then when they came back, everyone talked about it. Hey, do you want to take a second run? The judges left it up to him. He was like, I don't know what to do. He spoke with Shane and Manny was like, dude, you've got this. You need to do it. So he took the second run, got that 0.3 ahead, getting him up to an 8.1, and it really paid off as he's in second place right now. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Andrew. And it really did pay off. Gustavo Ribeiro in second place after that crazy start. Now let's take a look at the basics. Here's how these events work. Each skater gets 2 45-second runs. We've seen them. Now we move on to the best trick section. 5 best trick attempts per skater anywhere on the course, and the top 4 scores overall count from anywhere, any section. Could come 2 from runs, 2 from best trick, 1 from runs, 3 from best trick. Could be 4 best tricks.
It really helps you out as a skater, having all those options, you know, whichever type of skater you are, you can, you know, curate your contest.
What did you prefer? Runs, best trick?
Oh, best trick. I don't win run contests, as you know. I don't do it.
You're talking about Tampa Pro.
Yeah, sometimes I get a good run, but I don't do runs like what Nyjah and Kelvin just did. I don't do runs like that.
That's who does.
A Shane run? I don't have that.
There's no shame in that game. All right, Sora Shirai, first of 5 best trick attempts. Oh! How? He does it.
How
here
does he
in the
do
final.
He does it every time he tries it.
Mega launch, frontside 180 to not a switch crook.
Not a switch crook, but all the way around to nose grind, which is so hard to hold on to. And he does it balanced. Nobody else is doing this trick. Look at this. All the way nose grind, balanced it out. That's just wild. To not keep turning, to not flip off the edge of the ledge.
9 club for Japan. All weekend long. He's been dropping that trick, and each time gets a 9.
Really monopolizing that trick. He's really got cornered that market.
Matt Berger.
Oh,
fakey splits.
You know, we watch these guys throw incredible moves back to back to back to back. But that right there, Matt Berger almost making it, but doing the splits, that's how skateboarding actually goes.
Almost all tries end up like that on gnarly tricks.
That's most of the years that we skateboard.
Yes. All right, Hoefler in 7th. Wow.
Quick feet.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's going to score so well. And the rails, I mean, that's a short slide to immediately whip over into a tail and actually adequately get on both pieces right there. That's really, really tough. Also, a horrific slam.
9 club all day long. 9s dropping in this final.
I mean, that's deserving. If he didn't get into that half cab nose slide right, that's a twisted slam.
Now, who knows what Louie's gonna bring?
Wow. Backsmith front shove it over the rail onto the deck, like 4 feet out of the top of the rail.
Manny Santiago coming in 6th place. Needs an 8.5 to move into the lead.
Oh.
Shane O'Neill next in 5th place. Needs a 7.7.
Oh,
gets it
and he gets it.
easy.
He gets it. I mean, watch this. He jumps into the crook, nice and slow, and then watch how early he pops out of it. He starts to compress and get out early so that he has enough room to nollie flip, but he popped like a foot off the top of the rail.
And the board is on his feet way before he lands. 9 club, 9.1, Shane O'Neill delivering what we came for.
A lot of people can now do crooked grind nollie flips, but no one does it like him.
Gustavo Ribeiro. Bigger flip, front board fakie, bolts, landing. He needs an 8.7 to move into the lead.
I mean, look at this trick. There's so much. You have to under flip a tray flip, over rotate a tray flip, and get that front shoulder tucked backside. And you saw he just left his right foot out there so that it would just, at the right moment, it would bang into his foot, stop flipping, stop spinning, and drop it onto the rail.
8.9, low rumble.
See, they want the shield.
How can you not?
It's true, when you get so many of them, just spoiled.
Gustavo
spoiled
Ribeiro
crowd.
is in 1st place for now. Nyjah needs a 7.5 to move into the lead, and he's going all in. Back to the top of the order, attempt number 2, Chris.
I mean, what I really love about Nyjah is he is down for the slam. He will try to make it, and he will fall so hard.
Coming off a 9. Sora going for the big spin, front tail on the gap to hubba.
This is the moment that it starts to play with your mind. All of the dudes out there who aren't making 9 clubs at the current moment, they start to get it twisted. So, you know, what he just tried is a trick that he did not do in practice. A trick that he was not sure if it would work.
Oh, that was so textbook.
He knew that would work.
That worked. Matt Berger. He needs some big scores still.
Well, this is going to be one of them. He does a really interesting big spin. It's a flat big spin. It's not a rocketed big spin that would go into a front blunt on its own.
8.7. Solid score.
When I do that trick, I actually try to hit my tail on the side of the ledge completely vertical.
He does not.
No, he does a proper big spin and then drops it in the front blunt.
Kelvin needs a 1.9, and he doesn't get it.
He's trying the right stuff, though. That was the right idea. Kickflip front nose grind 180.
This is where things can either start to go crazy right or horribly wrong for a lot of skaters, because now you know, you got to get all 9s.
Absolutely.
So you got to try your absolute hardest tricks.
Oh,
there,
wow. See, he knows. He's like, I'm looking for some 9 clubs. I heard they give them out here. All right, Manny rolling in. Oh. You know, this is the curse of doing so well in semis. You got all those lands under your belt. You're like, what if I don't do them during finals? He did all these tricks first go in finals, just rifled them off.
Switch, big flip front board.
Yeah, he's the only dude that's gonna do that in the contest. The only guy that can deliver that to this crowd. Oh, crawling in. Is this a crook nollie flip? Yeah.
Ooh. Second only to Shane O'Neill on his ability to make that trick every try and make it look really easy.
And he also pops it out. Like you can see, he really does pressurize that left foot. He pressurizes it after he nollies. It's really good.
9 club. 9.0.
Further pushing that lead.
Pushing the lead. Surprising. Nyjah Huston in 6th place. Needs a 7.2 for second. Whoa!
Whoa!
Nyjah delivering clutch.
And Nyjah didn't do that in practice. He didn't do it in semifinals. That's just right now.
I think that just changed everything.
Yeah.
Right there.
It waited so long to flip over. Watch. He catches the side rail and still, just like I said, he tries to pull it, risking the slam, but getting the reward.
Wow.
He's like, I'm looking for that shield. There it is.
9 club. Nyjah Huston, 9.0.
That's so well deserved.
Nyjah back in 2nd place, nicely situated. What we need you to do is follow us on Instagram, get social at SLS. Go there for the best clips, highlights, results, info, anything you want.
All that.
Next World Tour stop, Los Angeles, California, July 27th and 28th. And for more info, go to streetleague.com. Look at these 9 clubs dropping.
That is how you do it. That's what you want to do. Those big tricks, the ones that you risk, those are the ones that get it.
And that's what you got to do. More of that coming up when we return. This is the final.
What's up, guys? My favorite moment of Street League is when you guys all show up and you cheer and you're jumping out of your seats. It is completely amazing to have your guys' support. Outside of that, my favorite moment is when I got into the 9 club. It is one of the hardest things to do, and finally I did it, and hopefully there is more to come. So congratulations to SLS on the 10th year anniversary. I'll see you guys in London.
All right, Manny Santiago coming in 6th, trying to get his 4th score. Nice. Yeah, man.
You know, When Manny makes a trick like that, it's hard not to just yell into the microphone.
Is that the wrong thing to do?
Look at how well he did it.
How many points should he get for that? Because nobody's doing varial heel back 50s.
Like anywhere, not just right now in final. 9 club.
9 club.
Yeah. Deserving. I mean, seriously, risking it to get into a 9 club situation is just so nerve-wracking. You're really just risking the whole contest. You only have so many goes.
One thing left out of that clip, Manny gets a 9 club tattoo every time he drops a 9. Love that, want to see that.
Solid.
All right, 9 club is a huge moment in skateboarding. Let's take a look at T-Puds talking about it.
The level of skateboarding in street leagues progressed so much, and the 9 club, it wasn't really a thing when it started. Now it's like, all right, the 9 club is something.
On deck, T-Puds.
Locking in for that back tail, and it makes it! 9.2, the judges loved it. Oh, wow! 9.2.
It ain't every trick. You know, you have to actually have a specific trick that, you know, either no one else could do or something that no one's ever seen before. Usually if you do an NBD, which means never been done, that's gonna be in the 9 club. The 9 club's that slam dunk, that alley-oop shot, that 3-pointer, you know. When it happens, you know. The crowd goes wild. The skaters are all stoked. Everyone's banging their boards against the coping. That's a moment to remember.
That's a moment to remember, and we've seen a lot of them here tonight. This is the men's final. 2019 SLS World Tour, London. Stop number 1 of the year, the first Olympic qualifying event. Sora Shirai from Japan coming in 6th place. Best trick attempt, number 3.
Oh, so much to go wrong. It's a big gap. What if you don't get the front shove it right? What if it sticks? What if it slides out? The tail can stick on the top. The wheels can stick on the side.
He was this close. It almost all worked.
That's why they're out there.
Next skater in, Matt Berger. Back in Matt Berger form. Currently in 5th place. Needs a 4.3 for 2nd. Getting a report that Berger might be injured. He's gonna send it down to Andrew for some info.
Unfortunately, Matt Berger went down pretty hard and took a rough slam in between. I think he was trying a big flip front feeble, or sorry, big spin flip hurricane. And he went down really hard, hitting his head. He looked like he was laying there for a minute, but he's going for it. We'll see what he has.
What a champ.
Canadian beast.
Absolutely. Oh.
That trick has worked well for him this week.
He's very, very precise with it. He's super good at kickflip back tails in all of its variants.
Kelvin Hoefler, 4th place. He needs a 3.5 for 2nd. He's trying to put his 4th score on the board, and from there, it's just who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, he has a huge bag of tricks. We have no idea what he's going to try.
Whoa, that's heavy.
The cab back tail, that is his move. Yuto has it nollie, he does it fake.
It's such a great trick.
You know what we're seeing a lot in this contest is the back truck getting on for just a second, bang, and then it goes in. We're seeing that a lot during this weekend.
What does a cab back tail get in 2019? Kelvin Hoefler waiting on that score.
I love the skater camaraderie up there.
8.0.
Hey, you know what? That's a pretty good score for it, actually. It's a good trick, but I mean, we're seeing some wild moves.
It moves Hoefler into 2nd, and that means he's his strategy is paying off. Louie Lopez in.
Whoa!
Wow.
Did not expect him to try to 270 out. I thought he would try to big spin out with that big of a windup. Should have known better.
Don't try to predict Louie Lopez.
It's true.
Fakey 540 with a tail in between.
Yeah.
All right, Manny Santiago coming in 7th place.
Whoa! Look at him. So he's on fire.
So this is what you're seeing here. You saw him talk about these are his favorite moments.
That's right. He loves when the crowd pumps him up. And also, how can you not appreciate when you do a trick that well? A trick that no one else is gonna do. He's stoked. Nice. Yep.
Puerto Rico in the house. 9 Club! Get your tattoo gun out, Manny.
It's just the best.
9.2.
There he is. He's talking about it.
Love that. Love that. Shane O'Neill, he's in 4th. Okay! Switch!
Keeping it up, keeping the 9 clubs going. Switch big flip board. Look at how precise that toe is. Wow, that flipped fast.
It's unbelievable.
99.9% of skateboarders will never know what that feels like to be doing.
9 Club, 9.3. Back on top, Shane O'Neill. Overall score, 34.8. Same score as Gustavo Ribeiro, but
in first place because he has one higher scoring trick.
yeah, the highest scoring trick with a 9.3. In fact, he has 2 of those, Shane does. Gustavo Ribeiro coming back. Crowd is pumped. So he made the crook nollie flip, going for the crook nollie heel. Staying with what works.
I wonder what the judges will do. They do have to judge the trick, but I mean,
There still is an element of overall impression. You can't do just that. You couldn't crooked grind all day long and just, you know, nollie flip, nollie vero flip, nollie heel, nollie vero heel, and keep getting the same scores.
oh,
Although maybe you can.
Nyjah with the nollie heel foot backside something. Could be a back lip, could be a back tail. He has them both.
He has 3 variations of 9s on the board, and that's it. So the next score that drops, he's got 2 more tries. It either does it for him, or
It's funny, Shane said that on the sidelines. He's like, it's going to be all variations of 9, so.
Sora Shirai.
Whoa, he went for it. Smith grind? Whatever.
3 falls in a row for Sora. So you see, this is an amateur in the pro setting trying to adapt his skating to what he's surrounded by.
That's right.
You know, and it's like, hey, you gotta raise it way up. And he's been doing that, but we've seen it a lot in the final. These guys run out of juice.
There.
What?
That was beautiful. The precision and timing to get in and to get out. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Berger looking for an 8.9 or better to move into 3rd place.
Look how good he does this. And that was a fast big spin because that rail ends low. He doesn't have much time to get that big spin around, but watch that thing. He tracked it with his right foot. In case it under-rotated, he was ready to sweep it.
That reaction rules.
That's true. That's
Being
skateboarding.
genuinely psyched to put down a 9 Club, 9.1.
Excellent.
I mean, it's come down, it's basically just 9s or nothing out there right now.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Kelvin Hoefler needs an 8.8. That's a low score for Kelvin. That's all he needs to take the lead. I'm joking. It's a huge score, but Kelvin's got a million of them.
Okay.
Wow.
Plays the game. But the judges, like as of late, if you do the trick after somebody else, it does not, it may score a point something below, but it does score below.
He did a little bit more of the vertical technique that you had in mind, but still very similar. Both clean. 8.7 for Kelvin. It puts him in second place. Wow. So Kelvin is going to want to drop an 8 on his next run. Louie Lopez back in, needs some scores. Cab back tail, didn't do what he wanted, still great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot cooler to land on your board than it is to bail.
And a cab back tail is an awesome trick. But when the judges know what you're really going for, and at this stage of the game, when you Kelvin already did it down the big rail.
Seeing that many zeros next to Louie is very, very bizarre.
Louie Lopez.
Wow.
In 7th. Shane O'Neill, Kelvin and Hoefler. Kelvin, Hoefler, and Gustavo all tied for first, but Shane wins with the tie-break tricks.
That was sick. Shove it, heel flip, fan dangler, one-footed 5-0 hybrid. Look at that, wow.
What was he going for, back 5-0?
Back 5, that's why his foot was up high.
What kind of score does that get at this point?
I mean, they're not gonna score it great, and it's not gonna be the 9s that he needs.
Right. 8's a great score, but that score doesn't matter much at this point.
That was really cool. We got to see it, guys, so that's cool.
Shane O'Neill, current leader. He breaks all ties with his high score of 9.3.
This was part of it. Part of his strategy was to get the highest point something in the 9 club, because he knew that it was all going to be 9s. So he needed point something higher just for this moment here.
All right, Gustavo Ribeiro needs an 8.2 now to take the lead from Shane O'Neill, because he's tied for first, but one of his scores was an 8.1. So anything better than that 8.1 is going to add to that total score.
And Shane needs to throw out the 7.1.
But so Shane needs to look at those scores and think strategically and go for an 8 or something in that range, not a 9.9. That's
Does
my
he
advice.
have that, though? Does he have the tricks that aren't 9s?
Nope. 9 club, Gustavo Ribeiro. 9.2 takes the lead in a dramatic fashion. 35.9 overall score. Now things just changed big time. Nyjah Huston, 4th of 5 tries before we go back to the top of the order for last attempts. He needs an 8.6, Chris, to take the lead.
Look at that, and he does it. That is beautiful.
That was
definitely what he needs.
Nyjah Huston is a repeat world champion.
Here's the thing. We've seen him do nollie heel back flips, but nollie heel back tail is so sick. Like such a skater move.
What would you give that as a score right now?
9.1, 9.2. I don't even care. 9.8, I don't care. That's sick.
Waiting for the shield.
Waiting on graphics. Yep.
9.3.
Yep.
Nyjah Huston back in the lead with a 36.7.
That's what happens when you do tricks that no one else is going to do.
Hey, amateurs, don't mess with that dude right there. Nyjah Huston, he's coming for that trophy. When we come back, 5th and final best trick attempts in the final. Welcome back inside Copper Box Arena for the 5th and final best trick attempt here in the finals at the 2019 SLS World Tour. Stop number 1. These are your current standings going into last trick. Nyjah Huston on top with a 36.7 overall score, followed by Portugal's Gustavo Ribeiro and Australia's Shane O'Neill rounding out the top 3. A lot of skaters going for it. 9s, 9s, 9s. It is going to take a lot for anyone to take down Nyjah at this point. Oh. Next in, Sora Shirai. Best he can do is 7th place. This is for the pride of sticking your final trick in the SLS final.
That's a big deal.
Huge. Yes! Sora! That's a beautiful thing.
That's fantastic. I'm so happy for
him. Look at the toe. Barely on the board.
I mean, board barely on the ledge too. Just make this no matter what. I'm happy for him. That was excellent.
So waiting on that shield. 9 clubs, Sora Shirai. 9.0.
I think that's a fair score.
Yeah, crowd wants 10s now. They're just not content. They're like, we've seen the 9, we get it.
Sometimes it's fun to boo, I don't know.
Matt Berger, best he can do is 2nd place.
Whoa.
All right, he's gonna finish in 6th at best. Matt Berger, a great sort of comeback here in London for Matt Berger after years of being injured off and on. Just looking great.
It's great. It's great to see him back and to see him back the way that he skated before.
So far, we've seen 11 9s. Kelvin needs a perfect 10 to take the win or the lead. It's never happened, and it's not going to happen for Kelvin tonight.
Unless he's going to backflip into that handrail.
Next up, Louie Lopez. The best he can do is 7th place.
Oh, there's just so much to that trick. There's so much spin. That ledge isn't nearly long enough, I don't think, either, for that trick.
Manny Santiago up next. The best he can do is 3rd.
Oh.
There are 3 skaters left. Best trick attempts here in the finals. We have Shane O'Neill, Gustavo Ribeiro, and Nyjah Huston. Nyjah is current leader.
This is interesting.
Gustavo and Shane both have a chance to take the lead. Shane needs a 9.1.
Oh. That's the hardest part about that trick. Big spin back tail, which he probably would have big spinned out.
Nyjah Huston will win this stop unless Gustavo Ribeiro can put down a 9.7 or better right now.
Oh,
and
that's
Huston does it again. The 2019 SLS World Tour London winner, Nyjah Huston.
That was so well deserved. I mean, hammer after hammer, and he has a victory run. What do you do? Do you joke around or do you be Nyjah Huston? Oh, wow. phenomenal.
What a win! Nyjah Huston showing why he is the most dominant skater in SLS history.
Okay.
Multiple times over.
The hype is real. You know, like, he is so well deserving of any praise that he gets. He just drops it down every single time.
Wow, Nyjah Huston, congratulations. We'll be back right after this.
Let's go, bro!
Welcome back inside Copper Box Arena, London, where Nyjah Huston is celebrating another hard-fought win, just battling off everyone. The onslaught continues. It's not getting any easier, and it keeps rising to the challenge.
I mean, the wildest tricks, just all the time, just dominating.
Let's send it down to Andrew Cannon, who's standing by with Nyjah.
Nyjah, you were in 6th place with 2 attempts left. What is it about the pressure that drives you to do what you do?
Oh man, I've been thinking about it. This is my 10th year, man. I'm a veteran out here now. So I definitely know how to let that pressure hype me up to get it done. And that just goes to show, man, that Street League format, it changes so fast, you know? I was all the way down there, but I wasn't stressing. I knew I had the nollie back tail and made it happen.
With everything going on, this is the highest points right now leading into the Olympics. How do you feel that's going to do for skateboarding?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we can already see it's making it progress at a crazy level. You know, we got new guys out here, like the new Sora, killing it. Front big spin, front tail is insane. And I mean, we're only going to see that get crazy and crazier throughout the years. I'm just out here trying to keep up, man. Like I said, 10th year. I'm stoked.
Congratulations, Nyjah. Well deserved.
Yeah, well-deserved is an understatement.
Absolutely.
Of the year.
I mean, everybody killed it.
So many 9s happening today, but congratulations, Monster Energy highest scored tricks. Shane O'Neill with the 9.3, switch big flip front board.
And he did that beautifully.
And another 9.3, Nyjah Huston, nollie heel back tail.
Look at that. Just no one does that in Street League. No one really does that at all.
Yeah.
But doing that here on a handrail, awesome.
Congratulations to Gustavo Ribeiro as well, an amateur coming into the SLS World Tour and putting it down, and Sora, Shirai, so many great skaters. Congratulations to all our skaters in the finals, but especially Pam Rosa and Nyjah Huston for taking home the wins. So for Cole, Cannon, and everybody at SLS, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time from LA.
Third, Shane O'Neill. Second, Gustavo. First, Nyjah. Perfect, thank you. Daddy wanted me to move.